If you have been learning photography for a while and still not getting the results that you want, I want to offer a different explanation for why. Not that you need to practice more, not that you need better gear, and definitely not that you're missing a specific technique. The explanation is actually simpler than that, and it has nothing to do with how much you know about photography. The answer is a specific sequence of 5 decisions. I'm going to show you exactly how that looks. But first, I want to explain why the education that you have already done hasn't given you this already. There's a difference between having information and having a framework to apply it to. Information tells you what something does, and a framework tells you when to use it, in what order, and why that order matters. Photography education is really good at giving you information. What aperture controls, what the shutter speed does, how the ISO affects the noise in the image, what the histogram is telling you and what it looks like, how to frame the photo in the rule of thirds, what the rule of thirds is. If you've been learning for a decent amount of time, you probably already know all this already. And yet, on a shoot, under pressure, with the moment happening in front of you, that information doesn't always translate into a clear decision. You know what f1.8 is, but in the moment, you're not always sure if 1.8 is the right decision for the shot that you're trying to get. You know what the histogram should look like, but you're not always sure what to do when it doesn't look right. The information is somewhere in your head because you were taught it, but the framework for applying it probably isn't there. And that is the gap. And that is the gap almost no photography educators will address directly to you. Here is what I mean by a framework. Framework is not a checklist, and it is not a set of rules. It is a specific sequence of decisions that you make in a certain order, where each decision should inform the next one you're about to make. The reason the order matters so much is because some of the decisions might constrain the other ones. If you know what the photo is about before you compose it, the composition becomes easier because you know what to include and what to remove from the photo. If you read the light before you set your exposure, the settings follow logically from the light instead of guessing after you've pressed the shutter. If you start with settings, which is where most education starts, you are making the most constrained decisions because you're putting yourself in a position where you can't adapt or understand what's going wrong because you started with the settings instead of the decisions before you took the photo. Information without a sequence is hard to process when you're under pressure because you don't know what to do. And most photography, especially when it's for someone else, you're definitely under some sort of pressure because you're not always going to be out and about just shooting whatever you want, whenever you want. Which means the moment is moving, the light is changing, and you need to make a decision sooner rather than later, otherwise you'll miss the photo entirely. In that moment, you don't have time to recall information that might be in your head somewhere. You need a process that works for you and definitely works when you're under pressure. And that is what a decision framework gives you. Not more things to know, just a sequence to follow, which should then become automatic when you're under pressure the next time, if you manage to learn a framework that works for you. And the reason information-based teaching is so common is because it's easy to teach. Here's what aperture does, here's what shutter does, here's what ISO does. And here's what happens when you combine them all. It's clear and easy to demonstrate to you visually or even worded in a way that makes sense to you. Framework is harder to teach because it requires you to build a sequence into how you shoot yourself and not just into what you know. That takes repetition. It takes applying the same decisions in the same order until it becomes second nature to you, and no matter whether you're under pressure or you're just doing whatever, it should have just come to you naturally instead of you trying to think about what you're doing instead of just doing it automatically. A decision framework for photography looks like this. Before every photo, you answer a sequence of questions in the same order. What the photo is about, one question. If you cannot answer it, you're not ready to shoot. What light are you working with? Where is it coming from? Is it hard or is it soft? And where is it falling on the subject you're shooting? 3 questions before you even touch or pick up the camera. Where do you position yourself and the subject? This follows on from the first 2 answers, not from habit or convenience. What settings support the decisions you have already made? Shutter based on movement, aperture based on the depth that you already decided on, and ISO last. What will the edit look like? The mood and the direction decided now and not when you open Lightroom. 5 questions, same order, every shoot that you do. Notice how settings come fourth after 3 decisions that are not about settings at all. And that is the opposite to where most education starts. When you have answered the first 3 questions, the settings become obvious, and they're not creative decisions at that point. They are logical responses to the decisions you have already made. That's the difference between a framework and a collection of information. The framework tells you what to decide first so that everything comes after should be easier. The reason this matters is not just because of efficiency on a shoot. It is that a framework compounds in a way that information does not. Every time you run that same sequence, it should get slightly faster. After a few weeks, it should become automatic, if not after a couple of shoots. But that's being optimistic. And hopefully after a couple of months, if not sooner, it should just become instinct. And whether you're under pressure or not, it should just become second nature to you now. What looks like from the outside looking in is a good eye or good instinct is the same 5 questions answered in the same order, and it's fast enough that you're not thinking about it, you're just doing it. And you can't achieve that by just knowing more information. You can only get that by practicing a sequence when you're actually doing something with the information that you know and practicing out in the real world and not just in your mind. If you've been learning photography and not in a way that feels fast enough to you, it is, do I have a framework that applies what I already know? Information tells you what your camera does, whereas a framework tells you what order to do that in and how to process the information so that it works for you and not in a way that you've just combined it in a random way and it actually makes it slower and worse for you in the long run. That sequence, until it becomes automatic to you, is what closes the gap between being a consistent shooter and someone who doesn't know what they're doing and doesn't get the right shot every time, or hopefully most of the time. Is the gap between understanding photography and consistently getting the shot. I do, however, have a free 14-day email sequence for anyone that's trying to get better at the photography or just understand something a bit more clearer from me personally. It will send you 1 email every day for 14 days, or if that's not good enough for you, there's a free Photography Diagnostics down below as well, which will give you a response into what's going wrong in your photography and what is going right, and that takes less than 2 minutes, and then you'll get added to my 14-day free email sequence anyways. But if you want any more help, and I don't have enough videos out yet, either one of those 2 will be your best bet right now. Otherwise, like, subscribe, and this video right here should be what you need to watch next because YouTube recommends it for what is personally best for you.